Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And you know what really makes me smile inwardly is the complete out of touch attitude of one Julius Chicken Man Malema. You know, the leader of the EFF, who says before the elections, you put me in power with the EFF and we will have a clinic in every single township around South Africa. You won't have to go to a hospital. Now, guess what, Julius? Here's a wake-up call. There are not even enough nurses to man the few hospitals South Africa's got that are still operating. That's how big the brain drain has been. You've got hospitals where there's one doctor on standby for the whole hospital. There's some hospitals which have had to close down because they haven't got a doctor. Places like Newcastle, in Kwazulu Natal. The brain drain is huge, and you, Julius Malema, are largely to blame for that because of the threat and the rhetoric that you espouse. And as a result of your actions and your political rhetoric that you've been spewing out to your supporters, it's not looking good. Now, subscribers to my channel would know that about 6 weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago, I had a video about this guy who was the fellow who received people coming into the hospital. And, you know, he got them to fill out the forms and directed them where to go. And he was caught totally drunk. He was out of his mind. In fact, the video footage shows him there with a bottle and swigging on it, and he's staggering around the place. This is a guy who's supposed to be checking people into the hospital. Quite extraordinary. Now, that same Livingston Hospital, which is near Port Elizabeth, is the subject of this story. This is no longer the R K Kahn hospital where they had to borrow someone's mobile phone for the light. This is a totally different public hospital in South Africa. This is what you can expect if you land up in a hospital. Let me tell you the story. A Port Elizabeth woman who has been treated for a painful bowel obstruction has described a hellish nightmare at Livingston Hospital that began with a male nurse allegedly placing her in a bed that was soaked with urine. You heard me right. Soaked with urine. Suzanne Dupree, 61, said she was admitted to hospital on June the 19th for an obstruction of the bowel. As a result of cancer, she had part of her colon removed and now wears a colostomy pouch. She was admitted to the hospital's surgeon on call section after being diagnosed with an obstruction in her bowel. After she was sent for x-rays by the doctors, a male nurse was requested to give her morphine for the pain. After several hours of waiting for a bed, he put me onto one. I suddenly felt wet from head to toe, Dupree said. My visitors saw there was urine dripping from the mattress and more urine in the metal base of the bed. We called the nurse to tell him that I was wet and stinking. He just gave me my morphine injection. He refused to clean me. He said I can sit in a chair if I was not happy. I was never given a drip. My friend and I took the mattress off the bed. The base of the bed looked like a swimming pool. This is a South African public hospital we're talking about here. Dupree said she sat in the chair until a cleaner arrived to clean the floors, and another told her the mattress on the floor was saturated with urine. The cleaner allegedly responded that the one who put the mattress there must pick it up and clean it. Another patient asked the cleaner to clean the toilet as there was vomit on the floor. The cleaner allegedly said it was not her job. The nurses then went back and put a sheet on the wet mattress. Another patient said, "How can you put a sheet on that wet mattress?" He then called security. I asked another nurse for the name of my doctor. The male nurses told her to say nothing. I wanted to discharge myself and explain to the doctor what had happened, but the security locked the doors. She left just after 4 a.m., but later that same day, Dupré said she fainted at home and was again taken to Livingston Hospital casualty. Nobody wanted to help me, so I came home. Eastern Cape Department of Health spokesperson Sizwe Capello said he was aware of the incident, but wanted to urge patients to use a 24-hour call centre to report difficulties at hospitals around the province. We equally do not condone the behaviour by patients. It is wrong for patients to discharge themselves. Now, think about this. You've been taken to this hospital, you've been put on a bed that's full of urine. Disgusting. You know, here you are, you're suffering a bowel issue, and now this guy's suggesting that we do not condone the behaviour of patients who book themselves out. What other option did she have? This is the attitude of these guys running the health departments in South Africa. It's extraordinary. Anyway, Capello, the Eastern Cape Department of Health spokesperson, continued by saying, "It is wrong for patients to discharge themselves. Absconding from the hospital puts your health at serious risk, and the department cannot take responsibility for the consequences." I think putting someone who is really sick in a bed that's filled with urine is not going to be conducive to a healthy position. Absolutely extraordinary. Earlier in June, a clerk who reported drunk on duty at the same casualty unit was dismissed by the department. That's the guy that I was talking about that we covered a while ago now. The hospital's top management team has been absent since November after Superintendent General Dr. Tabili Mbengashi was suspended them following complaints filed against them by unions. It is understood that a forensic report found there was no substance in all but 2 of the cases, but Capello says this has not been finalized. So guess what? The unions are running the hospitals, not the medical staff. The forensic investigation has also so far found no basis for allegations made against a hospital security provider or about theft of computers. The department has failed for weeks now to provide clarity over what is happening to 137 staff members at the hospital who are facing an array of disciplinary charges. Capello said Dr. Liviu Bayani was appointed as the hospital's acting CEO in May. There are a number of challenges at the institution. Dr. Bayani's mandate is to engage with stakeholders. Don't they love that word, stakeholders? You know, it's like this other key one that they use when someone is appointed who doesn't know what the F he's doing. Turn around. We're going to turn around. You know, it's weasel words. They don't mean anything. It's just like, you know, I'm here, I'm a hero, and I'm going to start taking just like everybody else before me. It is just crap. Just crap. Sorry, that's just a little rant. The department has failed now to provide clarity over what is happening to 137 staff members at the Livingston Hospital who are facing an array of disciplinary charges. Capello said Dr. Liviu Bayani was appointed as the hospital's acting CEO in May. There are a number of challenges at the institution. Dr. Bayani's mandate is to engage with stakeholders to agree on the proposed turnaround interventions that will... You see that word, turn around? Here it comes. It's one of those little buzzwords you know is coming. This is the get me out of jail card free, you know? Yeah. Dr. Bayani's mandate is to engage with stakeholders to agree on the proposed turnaround interventions that will bring stability and ensure service delivery occurs as planned. He will be supported by a cross-functional team from head office. This is such a load of crap. You know, this has been said ever since 1994 by these BEE appointees. They are just so out of depth, they don't know what the F they're doing, but they come up with all these little weasel words. Anyway, she goes on to say Dr. Biani's duration of his secondment will be informed by the processes that are unfolding in respect to the suspended officials. So, this is happening in hospitals all over South Africa today. Back in the 1970s, yeah, it was 1970s, I actually had a minor operation in a hospital in Greytown. And it was just so slick. I was in there, operation done, nothing major, just a few stitches. Out of there, and back home. And, you know, it was just, everything was just perfect. You know, the checking in, the nurses were just all over you like a rash, making sure you're okay. And now today, if you go into a hospital anywhere, including Greytown, I can guarantee you, and that's a public hospital I was at, you will find that it's like going on a death sentence because they just don't care. That's a tragedy of South Africa today. All right, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates and have a great day.